So February was quite a month for Vancouver housing, and we had the new BC legislation come in. We're going to be taxing the flippers. We're going to be giving tax breaks to first-time home buyers and new home buyers. Sales were up astronomically. Prices are going up. I'm going to talk about all this shortly. My name is Annunziello with Oakwyn Realtor and the Soretsky Group. If you're thinking of making a move in Vancouver, please feel free to reach out to Steve or me at the Soretsky Group. We help tons of people move every day in Vancouver, and of course, we'd be happy to help you as well. First of all, the BC government has stepped in and said, okay, we're going to tax anyone 20% on their profits if they buy and sell a home within the first 2 years of owning it. So that is to basically deter investors or flippers from purchasing a place and competing with families who want to buy these same sorts of homes and just to make a profit in the end, when a family would have lived there and stayed there for over 2 years, I guess. I think it's going to have kind of the opposite effect that the BC government is intending, which is to create more inventory and to create less competition, because it's ultimately going to affect pre-sales. These projects need investors to help fund their projects, otherwise they won't get started, basically making less inventory long term. The other thing to note is that this is a retroactive tax, so even if you bought a place last year before this law was in place and then you want to sell it after January 1st, 2025, which is when this law comes into place, you will be taxed. You will be hit with that tax unless you wait for the 2-year mark after your completion date. So keep that in mind. There's also new property transfer tax rebates for first-time home buyers. So if you buy a home $835,000, then you will be exempt from paying the full property transfer tax. You're exempt from paying the first $500,000 of the property transfer tax, essentially. And then same sort of thing goes for new homes up to 1.1 million. So moving into the stats, as I said, we had an astronomical change in sales on a month-over-month basis. We had a 51% increase, over a 51% increase in Vancouver. It kind of just says that we are pretty much in the spring market at this point. And I mean, from a boots on the ground perspective, calling around, dealing with clients and talking to other realtors who have, places on the market, our places on the market and stuff, there's a lot of action happening. There's a lot of places that, if it's a good product and it's a good deal, it'll be gone in a couple of days. You are starting to notice that these good deals or good products that are on the market, they'll be having an offer date now. Let me tell you, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of people who have been just waiting for the opportunity to buy a place for the past year. With the interest rate rise, had a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for maybe prices to drop, interest rates to go back down, and after a year of waiting, really none of that has happened. And springtime comes along and people get excited again, and now we've got this kind of like pent-up demand and pool of buyers that are out there ready. Like last weekend, I did an open house, a pretty standard 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. I had about 20 groups come through, and so if that's any indication of how many active buyers there are out there looking for something, then we might be in for a busy March. Prices are starting to rise. We had about 6 months or so of decreasing in price, slowly decreasing, and then we kind of jumped up back to where we were about 4 months ago. We're starting to see multiple offers on some places, not necessarily over asking every time. A lot of them are still under asking or about at asking. The inventory is still quite low, and we still have a ton of people that are out there looking. Places are being scooped up. There's a lot of people out there ready to buy. So if you're thinking of buying or you're trying to buy, you got to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. You got to make sure you have your financing and all that stuff ready to go, because these places are going quickly, and you got to be ready. All this being said, there is an interest rate announcement happening on the 6th of March. No one is really expecting the rates to come down on March 6th. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not saying one way or the other, but based on people who are a lot smarter than me, what they're finding, they're saying that they don't think that the rates are going to come down on the 6th. So there's a little bit of uncertainty, and there's all these mortgages. There's about 50% of the mortgages that haven't been affected by these new interest rates yet. So there's that underlaying in the background. And so to summarize everything. Market's heating up. Prices are going up slowly. Sales are happening. Lots of buyers out there looking. Great time to test the market if you're thinking of selling. If you're thinking of making a move in Vancouver, like I said, feel free to reach out to Steve or myself at the Soretsky Group. Happy to help you. Thanks so much for watching.